What if you are afraid of nothing? Nothing. Man, beast, financial, bankruptcy. Nothing. Do you understand what that would mean? Once you become fearless, life becomes limitless. I'm not afraid of anything. I should be dead by now. I've been run over by charging buffalo. Got up, chase it down, kill it. Kill a Kodiak bear with a knife. You cannot kill me. I believe that with all my heart. You cannot fucking kill me. The people that I've talked about, Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, Rockefeller, Steve Jobs, they're all tough. Show me how, your friend, and I'll show you your future. And there are people, and they're available. There is never an easy time to make a hard decision. Never. And the guys that are changing the world, that are introverts, not alpha makes like me. Elon Musk thinks the same way. Warren Buffett thinks the same way. Bill Gates thinks the same way. Steve Jobs thinks the same way. Mr. Henneken. And I thought the same way. Now we all know the world's fucked up. There are riots every place right now. Not every place, but almost every place. What happens in the military, they have safeguards. If somebody's yelling at you too much, you pull out the card and say chill out. They don't have that in Russia, and they sure shit don't have it in China. If your adult child needs a safe space to avoid offensive words, you failed as a parent. In my day, they used to say sticks in the stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt you. Now, it's just the opposite. If somebody built my kid on the Facebook, I would go over to the kid's house and I would kick the shit out of the father's house with these two hands, and I would gladly do 3 years in prison for it. Sally and I went to Grand Canyon several years ago. Grand Canyon in America. The big hole in the ground, and there is things that you can walk out over a hole in the ground and you look down there in the big canyon. And there was a Chinese couple. Remember, a Chinese couple, and they started to go out in the plexiglass things. And the father couldn't do that. He was too afraid. So the mother and the two kids, about 4 and 6 and 4 and 7, went around, come back to the other side. And the father was standing at the exit shaking. And then he went like this to hug his kids. The children were so embarrassed. Neither one of them would hug their dad. And they walked past him because he was the only father that he didn't go out there. That father, that wife, and those two little shit kids will never forget the incident as long as they're fucking alive. I should have thrown that skinny little Chinese guy over that thing. At least he would have died for some fucking glory. If anything, a seminar offends you, your parents raise a pussy, okay? Now, when kids are 6 months old, they're pretty happy. Unless they got a knife and they need me to change. Kids are happy, slappy happy. When they're 3 years old, they're still pretty happy. When they're 7 years old, remember, self-esteem is built in the first 7-8 years of life. But when something happen, and who are you around the first 7 years of life? Normally a mom, maybe a dad, grandparent, an older brother and sister, but the life happens. Now they call it hormones. When they turn 15, and by the time they're 20, they're off the charts. And by the time they're 25, as some of you are in this room, they act crazy because life catches up you, because you're now being released into an environment that your family can't control. And if you thought your parent, your family were lack of role models, when you get out there, all the role models you're gonna come up against are even worse than your family, because arguably, ostensibly, your family at least should love you. Other people may pretend to love you, but they don't really love you. I'm not saying love is the answer, because if love worked, you wouldn't be gonna to seminars. You don't have to be able to rant and rave like I do, but what you have to be able to do is pull the trigger, take action. And reading books and listening to podcasts is not taking action. It's just another form of procrastination. I work at it every fucking day. I would sit around having lattes, chilling with releasing by the candle in the sun. Now we have people that come to me that they're so embarrassed of being snowflake. Life expands and contract with courage through pain. And now the kids don't want the pain. They want to expand. They want to be able to read a book, listen to a podcast, and expand. I'm attempting with all the knowledge I have to instill in you the psychology of the high performer. Steve Jobs changed the world. I think everybody will agree with that. He wasn't such a nice guy, though. He will be judged because he changed the world, not because he wasn't a nice guy. Elon Musk changed the world, doesn't act like such a nice guy sometimes. He will be judged for the world he changed. You can overcome fear by positive experience. And one of the things I do is I jump out of the plane, I jump in the bungee, etc., etc. Although I'm pretty much past being afraid of anything. True self-esteem has to be learned. Now, the self-esteem that you can learn now at your age isn't the rock solid from 7, 8 years old. Now, it's happening and hanging around with people. Being honest may not get you many friends, but it will always get you the right ones. And what I want to do from this point forward, no matter if you hated what I said or the way I said it, is choose carefully the people that you associated with. Machiavelli said, a ruler is judged by who he surrounds himself with. If I were to decide what kind of person you were by the people that you are closest to, what would I think of you? How would I judge you? Buffett, that is. You will continue to suffer if you have an emotional reaction to everything that is said to you. True power is sitting back and observing things with logic, and power is restraint. True power is restraint. If words control you, that means everyone else can control you. Breathe, let things pass. Most of us care what other people say, and most people care what other people think. And if you can just reduce the emotional baggage just a little, you have no idea how much fear you're gonna be and how much more you're gonna accomplish in your life. And as I said a minute ago, the first method of estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the man he has surrounded himself with. And this is the old man Henneken, Howard Henneken, back in the day 1865-ish, who was ruthless. The Henneken's family is an icon. They've done a lot for the country. I'm not talking that way. And the guy more recently, Freddie, who his grandson, I believe, now his daughter, who is a top dog in the Henneken. I believe, and she's tough as nails. Again, success leaves and they're Dutch, right? Are they pretend Dutch or real Dutch? And they are tough as nails. And at Apple, CEO Cook regularly begins sending emails at 4:30 a.m. and previously held Sunday night staff meeting by telephone to prepare for the next week. Cook shared on May 13th that his leadership focused on people. He's waking people up at 4:30 in the morning. He's tough. And of course, the stories are legendary about Amazon. 85 hours a week to keep your job. 85 hours a day to be considered for a promotion. 90 hours a week to get promoted at Amazon. And these rules aren't instilled by Amazon management. Those rules are instilled by Amazon employees. Peer pressure because they lie being the top. They lie being the best. And Elon Musk, we've grown fucking stuff. Elon Musk, after Vance noted that only hundreds of people are working on Tesla headquarters on a Saturday, I knew that. SpaceX, all these guys are the same. Now, some of you will say, well done, I don't want to change the world now. If this is what it takes to change the world, I pass. That's cool. Then you don't have to go to seminars anyway. Then you don't have to read books anymore. Then you don't have to listen to podcasts anymore. You're gonna have 20, 30, 40 hours a week extra time. So I saved you, in a manner of speaking, from a life of procrastination and not taking action. You don't have to thank me. That's fine. Just go to my site. Everything's free, and I don't care if you like me, you dislike me, hated me. I don't give a fuck about that. You can say all the bad things you want about me. Go to Reddit and say it all shit. I don't care. Remember, my goal was to save a few of you. And the Dutch crowds are always hard. My mentality is that of a samurai. I would rather commit seppuku than fail. Elon Musk, that means kill yourself. He would rather give himself than he fail. All night, no friends, nothing Elon Musk reveals. The lonely 24 hours he spent for his last birthday. Gee, what a shame. It's lonely at the top. Eagles fly alone. Eagles fly above the clouds. Mentoring all top athletes. They know We all know that. Bill Gates has a mentor. We know that. And I made you feel better yesterday by telling its truth. Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, Ellen, and Bill are like most in audience, introverts. There is nothing wrong with being introverted. There isn't. As long as you take action, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And these are the guides that I model. Socrates, Aristotle, and Plato. And I've been privileged to speak in front of Nail SEALs, Special Ops, Green Berets, Army Rangers, fighter pilot for 5 hours, and how the transmission out of military into a real civilian life. Now, why did they ask that Pena, 73 years old man who hasn't been in the military for almost 50 years, to come and transition, train fucking assassinates? Why did they ask all the guys you listen to? If it is not obvious to you, you got to go blow your fucking brains out, because I'm the real motherfucker deal. And I'm scared to Special Ops. I scared SEAL Team 6. And then what you've dealt with heretofore is not the real death. And that's why Michael has me here, because I'm real fucking deal.